In this lecture, we will be talking about how can we create broadcast groups on this WhatsApp platform. Okay, so I would like to show you the 6 profiles that I have created. This is the first profile that I have created with this name boss, and this is a number with which I created this profile. This is employee 1, which I have created with this number. Okay, similarly we have got employee 2's profile here, and then it is employees 4 profile, uh, employees 3 profile. Okay, so and one more we have got on the board, that is secretary's profile. So in total there are 5 employees, 1 secretary and a boss. Now let's see how can we broadcast a message. How can this boss broadcast a message to his employees? Okay, that's what we are going to see now. So first of all, he need to search for his employees. Okay, so let's search for employee number 1, which we have registered with this number. And now when if he wants to create a broadcast group, he need to click on this icon which is present right at the bottom of the search button, and when he will click on this, automatically he'll come across a cascading menu like this. Here he need to select this new broadcast group. Okay, now when he'll come on this screen, he need to enter the numbers of the people he want to add into the broadcast group he want to create. So let's add employee 1 first. So we need to search for employee 1 first, and after that when he will click on this employee 1's name, the employee's 1 phone number is going to get reflected in an input box like this. Similarly, let's add employee 2. This is employee 2. Now let's add employee 3. Okay, so this way he need to add all the employees whom he want to communicate, or whom he want to broadcast a message. So we are done with adding all the 5 employees here in the broadcast group. Now let's hit this button over here to create the broadcast group. So the broadcast group has got created successfully. Now let's if the boss want to broadcast a message, he need to type the message here in the input box. Okay, suppose this is a message which the boss wants to send to his employees. Now he need to hit this send button here, and automatically the broadcast message will be sent to all the employees which the boss has added in the group. Now let's check out on this mobile of employee 1 whether he has received the message or not. So he need to search for the boss's profile first. So this is the number with which we registered the boss profile. Let's search for the profile. So here is the boss's profile. Now let's hit this button and see whether we have got any notification from the boss or not. Yes, we have got a notification here. Let's tap on this and check out what are we going to get. Okay, so here we are going to receive the message. Let's hit this button and see what is the message. Okay, so employee 1 has received his boss's message successfully. Now let's see whether employee 2 has received it or not. So it's a second mobile, or it's a third mobile on which I am checking the boss's, sorry, it's the second mobile on which I'm checking the boss's message. Yes, employee 2 has also received it. Now let's check on employee 3's mobile whether he has received this message or not. Okay, he has also got a notification here. Fine, he has also received the message successfully. Now let's see whether employee 4 has got the message on his mobile or not. Yes, the notification is there, and here is the message. Okay, now let's see whether we have whether employee 5 has received the message on his phone or not. Where is employees 5 profile? Yeah, this is the one. Okay, so let's search for the boss's profile. Here is a notification, and here is the message. So all 5 employees the boss has added in the broadcast group have received the message successfully. Now let's see whether the secretary has got the message or not, because he hasn't been added into the group. So let's see whether just check out the code whether it is working fine or not. We need to see whether she has received a message or not. So if we'll click on this bosses button, no notification has come. So it means that she has not been added into the broadcast group. That's the reason she has not received the message. Now if suppose secretary wants to convey a message to all the employees, can she add the employees in a WhatsApp group? Let's just check that out. Employee 1, employee 2, employee 3, employee 4, and last but not the least is employee 5. Okay, now let's hit this button and see. Okay, so here the secretary is going to type a message. Boss has cancelled the meeting. Fine. So this is a message secretary has broadcasted to all the employees. Now let's see whether employees have received the message or not. So this is employee 1, I think. We need to go back, right? So we can hit, there is a back button over here. So when he will hit the back button, he is going to come on this screen again. Now let's check out the message sent by the secretary. So the secretary's profile is registered with this number. Now we need to see whether we have got a notification or not. Yes, a notification for employee 1 is there. And here is the message. Great. Now let's see. Let's go back. So this is employee 1. He has received the message successfully. Who is this? This is the boss. So the secretary has not included him in the chat box, in the broadcast group she created. This is secretary's profile. Okay, this is employee 5. Let's check out whether he has received the message from the secretary or not. Okay, now let's tap on this name of secretary over here. So we have got a notification and here is a message. So employee 5 has also received the message successfully. Now let's check it out for the remaining employees too. And here is a notification for employee 4. He has also received the message successfully. Great, it's working fine. Okay, now let's see whether employee 3 has also received the message or not. The notification is here. Great, he has also received the message successfully. Let's check it out for the last employee, that is employee number 2. Notification is there and he has also received the message successfully. Now let's see whether the employees can create a separate broadcast group of their own or not. So for that, employee 2, let's use this employee 2's profile for finding out whether he can create a new broadcast group or not. So for that, he need to click on this, then come on this new broadcast group, and after that he need to search for the required profiles. So this is employee 1. Fine. This is employee 1. Let's add him. Okay, now it's employee 2's profile, so we are not going to include him because he is the one who is creating the profile. Okay, employee 3, then employee 4 it is, he is, then employee 5's profile is this. Let's include him also in the group, and let's add secretary also in the group. Okay, now let's hit this button and see whether we'll be able to create the receipt. Okay, we have got the group created. Now let's send a message, broadcast a message here. Okay, now let's send the message. So the message has got sent successfully. Now let's see whether employee 1 has received the message from employee 2 or not, sent by employee 2 or not. Okay, the notification is there. Let's set the notification. Okay, employee 1 has successfully received the message. What about employee 3? Message was sent by, okay, so notification is here. Fine, employee 2 has also received the message successfully. Now let's see whether the other employees have received it or not. Great, the notification is here, and this one has also received the message successfully. I think the app is working great. Okay, he has also received the message successfully. Let's now test whether the secretary has received it or not. Where is secretary's profile? Okay, this is the one. So the notification is there and she has also received the message successfully. Okay, so the app is working perfectly fine, and this way the broadcast groups can be created on the WhatsApp platform we have developed in the previous lectures. Now let's check out the code that I have defined in the workspace. So when the user will come on this screen too, he is going to see this thing. This screen, this cascading menu will not be visible to him initially because I have made it hidden. Okay, what is the name of this? It is new broadcast. So new broadcast, I have made this element hidden, so it will not be visible to the user. Likewise, this notification button will also not be visible to the user because I have made it hidden too. Okay, this is the code with which I have made it hidden initially. Now let's come on what's gonna happen when the user will click on this new broad. These three dots which you're seeing over here. When the user will click on this new broad, show element new broadcast. So this cascading menu will be shown to the user. Now when he will hit this new broadcast, okay, what is going to happen? This broadcast is again going to get disappear, because I don't want that when the user will come back on this screen, I don't want this screen should be visible to him. So I have made it go hidden, and besides he is going to get redirected on this add recipients screen. Fine. Now what do we have here on this add recipient screen? We have got a search button with ID search 6. When the user will click on this search 6 button, what will happen? He is going to read the records are going to get read from this users table. Let me show you this table also. What do we have inside this table? So inside this table we have got this information, the name and phone number of all the people who have registered their profile on this platform. Okay, and this link that you're seeing, it's the photograph link. Okay, so this is what, these are the three fields, these are the three things which we have inside this users table. Now when the person will hit this search 6 button, the records are going to get fetched up from this users table. And first of all, we need to make sure that the record should match with the phone number that the user has entered here, search broad. So this is a condition that I've defined, and whatever information is there in these fields, photo, name and phone, for this particular phone number, they are going to get fetched up from this table, and the information is going to get reflected in these three things. The image of the user will be reflected in this search photo image of button. The name is going to get reflected here in the search name, and the phone number is going to get reflected in this label box. Besides, what else is going to happen? Show element. All these elements will be visible to the user, because initially I have made everything hidden. Initially when the user will come on this screen, he will not be able to see all these things, all these three things. Fine. So this is the code that I've made use for doing the same. This is the code. Okay, these are the three lines of codes that I have used for making them hidden. Now let's come on the next part. So when the user, where is that? Yep. So we are done with discussing this search, what will happen when the user will hit the search 6 button, right? Now in order to add this person in the WhatsApp group, a particular person is creating, so what he has to do, he has to tap, or he has to click on this name, on the name of the user or the part or the recipient which is going to get reflected here. When he will tap on this, automatically what is going to happen? This element, the name of this the ID of this element is select one. It is going to get reflected. Besides the text which is getting reflected over here, uh, where is that? Search phone. Yeah, the phone number which is getting reflected here, it is automatically going to get assigned to the text part of this select one component. Okay, and besides I have made use of a variable q, which initially I have assigned it 0 as a value. Now when the user will click on this for the first time, when the user will click on this search name button for the first time, the value of q is also going to get incremented by 1. Fine. So because of it, now after that, if q is equal to 1, then only this text box will get visible to you, visible to the user. Otherwise it will remain hidden. Besides, when now the value will get incremented by 1 here. So the new value is 1 when this text box will be visible to the user. At that time the value of q will be 1. When the user will again hit this name button, the value of q will get incremented by 1 again, and it will become 2. So at that time this element will get appear, it will be visible to the user then, and whatever name or whatever text is getting reflected over here in the phone number part, it is going to get fetched up, and the person who is creating the broadcast group, he will be able to see this number over here inside this. Similarly, I have defined the code for rest of the 3 input boxes also. Okay, and they are going to work on the value as per the value of q. If the value of q is equal to 3, then only this one will be visible to him, or else otherwise this text box, this input box will not be visible to the person who is creating the broadcast group. Similarly, for this the value of q should be equal to 4, and for this the value of q should be equal to 5. Okay, now let's come on. Once the person is done with adding all the 5 participants to whom he want to broadcast a message, he need to tap on this button with ID create. So when he will tap on this, when he will hit this create button, he is going to get redirected on this message broadcast screen. Now here we have got 2 buttons. One is receiving button, one is for receiving the messages. One is for receiving the messages, this one, and one is for sending the messages. So the sending of messages is going to happen if the person is the creator of the broadcast group, and the receiving is going to happen if it is the recipient of the message sent by the person who has created the broadcast group. Fine. So the name of this one is send broad. So what is going to happen when the person who has created the broadcast group will hit the send broad button? Automatically a table is going to get created. Let me just show you the code also. Automatically a table is going to get created with name broadcast, and here we have all the information. This is everything we have got inside this broadcast table. So the sender's phone number will be there, all the 5 receivers phone number are there inside this table, and the message part also, whatever message the user is going to type here, it is also going to get saved inside this under this message column here. Fine. Now let's come on this coding part again. So this is the whole thing that I have defined for creating the broadcast group. Okay, just try to grab the concept. If you will be able to understand the logic, and you will be able to use it in some different way, then in that way only, then only you will be able to create a new thing out of it. Remember this thing. Just check out the code. Okay, understand why I have used the code, and then try to use it in some different way so as to create something big, something innovative, and something different. Fine. So what's gonna happen when the user will click on this send broad button? A table with name this broadcast will get created on the browser of the mobile app. Besides, here I've got a text. I've got a message box over here. So whatever the user is going to type here, it is going to get reflected here in the text box when he will hit this send broad button. Through the help of, by the help of this code, I have done this thing. This is a code for the same, and just a second. Besides, once the user is done with sending the message, I don't want that message to further get reflected inside this broadcast message input box. So for that, I have defined this code. We have used this code several times previously, so I hope you all are aware of this code. Now let's come on how the recipients are going to receive the message. So for that, we have to again come on this screen 2. Now this is the idea of this component is name 2. So first of all, the recipient has to search for the profile of the person who has broadcasted the message. So he is going to put the person is going to put the sender's name here, sender's phone number here, and he need to tap on the search button. Automatically his profile is going to get reflected here. Okay, we have already discussed about this, the coding of this part, so I won't be discussing it further. I won't be discussing it in this part now. So the profile of the sender is going to get visible here. Now when he will click on this name to button, automatically this notification is going to appear. Okay, the user, the person will be able to see this notification image button over here. Fine. Now why he will see the notification? He will only see the notification if he has got a message inside this broadcast group from this sender phone 2. Okay, if suppose this person is searching for the message sent by a particular person, broadcasted by a particular person, so that if this notification will only be visible to this person if he has sent a message to him. Okay, remember we have done that, the boss sent a message to the employees, but when we when we were searching for the boss's message notification in secretary's profile, we were not able to see this thing. It is just because of this code that I've defined over here. Fine. After this comes the notification. So when the user will hit this notification button, what is going to happen? He is going to get redirected on this message broadcast screen, and besides the notification button, okay, it is also going to go disappear. Remember this thing. Why? Because I don't want that when the user will come back using this back button over here, when the user will come back on this screen 2, I don't want this notification button to further be visible to him. Okay, now let's come on the receiving part, how the recipients are going to receive the message. So for receiving the message, the recipients have to tap on this button over here with ID receive broad. So when they will tap on this button, automatically the records are going to get fetched from this broadcast group. Okay, this is the condition that I've defined over here, and this is the whole thing. Let me just show you the whole code. So this is the condition that if the receiver, if the person who is trying to check the message, if he is receiver 1, he should be receiver 1 or receiver 2 or receiver 3 or receiver 4 or his number should match with the receiver's 5 number. Okay, then only he will be able to see this text message in this broadcast message message box. Otherwise he will not be able to see the message. Besides, when he will tap on this back button, I don't want this message to further get reflected. It should go disappear. So this is a code that I've used for the same, and this is a code that I have defined for the back button. When the user will hit this back button, he's going to come on this screen too. And besides, yeah, this is it. Okay, so let me just show you the whole code again now, so that everything can be more clear to you guys. We started. Okay, this is the one. So this is a code for new broad but ID, the component with ID new broadcast. Okay, this cascading menus code, search 6 it is. Okay, it is the code for this button, search 6. Search name, this is a code when the user is, this is a code which is going to get executed when the user is going to tap this search name ID component. This is the whole code. Okay, so I've enlarged the size of the screen so that the code can be more visible to you. Now when the user will hit this create button, automatically he is going to get redirected on this message broadcast screen where he can send the message. So this is a code that I have used for broadcasting or sending the message. Fine, so a table is going to get created on the data browser in which all these things are going to get stored. The phone number of receiver 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and also the message that the sender is sending to these receivers. Okay, and besides, the sender's phone number will also get stored in this sender 1 column, the column with name sender 1. In that, the sender's number is going to get stored. This is a code for when the user, for the recipients, in order to receive the message, the recipient need to hit this name to button. This is the code for the same, how they can get the notification. So the receiver's phone number should match with the phone numbers that are getting reflected in these receiver 1, receiver 2 and receiver 3, 4, 5 columns. So in that case only, the person whose profile is getting reflected over here, he will be able to see this notification of the message sent by this user. Now when the user will tap on this notification button, he is going to get redirected on this message broadcast screen. And this is a code for the receiving button, how a particular receiver can receive the message sent by a user. And this is a code for the back button. Hope you enjoyed the lecture. Please do like and subscribe to my channel, and also share the video with the other students so that the others may also get the benefit of these free online coding classes. Thank you very much.